Hello YouTubers, how's everybody doing? Tutagamon here. In this video I'm going to benchmark Hitman Absolution on a single GTX 1070. As always, this is a digital recording at 60 frames per second, which is done on an external recorder. So what you will see in this video will be pure performance. I'm using my usual system, Core i5 2500, and the CPU is overclocked at 4.8 GHz. Okay. The system has 16 GB of memory, and the graphics card is a single GTX 1070 made by KFA2. It is the EX model. Latest forks were installed, and it will be boosting at 2 GHz due to a mild overclock I have done on it. Now, Hitman Absolution does have its own benchmarking utility. It is widely used, so I'm going to stick with that as well. I'm going to do two runs, one with multi-sampled anti-aliasing, and we have one at 8 times, so maybe I will do 3 runs, 4 times, 8 times, and no anti-aliasing at all. And for the quality I'm using the Ultra preset, of course, which is the maximum available setting for this game. Okay, Ultra preset, 4 times multi-sampled anti-aliasing, and let's see how the game fares. I was getting 67 frames per second on my 970 without CPU limits.
We're good.
We did get 97 frames per second from this run. 97 to 67 is a 45% performance increase, but you did see that even at 4 times multi-sampled anti-aliasing, the game was quite CPU limited. So let's jump to 8 times anti-aliasing, and I will go to no anti-aliasing at the end of the benchmark. I don't think I have never run 8 times on this benchmark. We are now at 92.5 frames per second. We did have a performance hit, not very much of course, but still some CPU limits occurred. Now the most interesting part of this benchmarking video is with multi-sampled anti-aliasing disabled, because this way the load on the GPU will be less, and in this way we can make it a CPU benchmark. Essentially this benchmark is quite CPU limited, so with no multi-sampled anti-aliasing it will be better suited for CPU comparisons. I was getting 97 frames per second on this CPU limited. We start at 66 percent CPU load, and it is dropping as you can see.
Nothing like it. Freshest fish around. Fresh. Come on, vegetable.
See, I told you 97 frames per second is also the result of the GTX 1070 run. So we have exactly the same performance as we did on the GTX 970 run, and we can see here exactly why. The GPU load is at 50% during the no multi-sampled anti-aliasing test. The CPU usage is quite high. We have reached an internal engine limit of Hitman Absolution, but let's see the other ones as well. This is the run with 4 times multi-sampled anti-aliasing, 8 times multi-sampled anti-aliasing, and no multi-sampled anti-aliasing at all. As you can see, the frame rate does not change too much, but during the last run, exactly due to the lack of the multi-sampled anti-aliasing, you can see that the GPU load is completely different compared to the maxed out multi-sampled anti-aliasing run. We go from 99% to 50% or something like that. The CPU usage seems to be similar on all runs, but it is highlighted, the CPU limit is highlighted clearly during the last run. So this run will be very interesting to see in future processors. The CPU temp is fine, no problems here. RAM usage at 3.4 gigabytes. RAM usage, okay. The power of the card is 86% for the 8 times multi-sampled anti-aliasing, and a little above 50% for the no multi-sampled anti-aliasing. We do have a considerable difference here. I'm not sure what this is, FB usage. I will have to look this up. GPU temps are okay. The core clock stays at 2 GHz throughout all 3 runs. Video RAM usage does change, 1.7 for the first, 2 GB for the second, and only 1.25 for the third without anti-aliasing. This will be a very interesting comparison video, my friends. Stay tuned for when I will be uploading some new benchmarks of this game on a better system. It will be quite very interesting. Until then, have a good time and take care.